Just to tell you something that's starting on Calander tomorrow. From Yorkshire to the United States, one boy's wish to walk takes him and his family across the Atlantic. Here's Tina Gelder.
We're in the heart of America with a little boy from Yorkshire whose dream is to walk. Ben Smithson has cerebral palsy. There is a procedure that could help him, but it's not available back home, only here, 4,000 miles away in St. Louis. We're with Ben and his family. We witness their highs and their lows.
Just take a few deep breaths
as they prepare for the operation that could change his life.
Now, this week we're following one little boy who has a dream. Ben Smithson has cerebral palsy.
Yes, his parents, Charlotte and Damien, thought they'd exhausted all the options for treating their son until they watched Calander one night.
Well, then they set their heart on going to America, but getting there wouldn't be easy.
Well, tonight, in the first of 4 special reports, Tina Gelder looks at how the people of a small market town in West Yorkshire helped put Ben on the road to that dream.
9-year-old Ben Smithson has a wish, and that wish is to walk. It'll take him and his family 4,000 miles across the Atlantic to the hospital that could change his life. This week on Calander, we share the highs and the lows.
Just take a few deep breaths
of Ben's remarkable journey. Ben Smithson dreams of being a footballer. Playing for Liverpool is his ultimate goal. He has spastic diplegia, a form of cerebral palsy that affects his movement and coordination. But this determined little boy from Ilkley has never let it get in the way of life.
I play football, I play wheelchair basketball, and sometimes I play some cricket as well. Oh, no! Oh!
Ben is incredibly close to his younger brother, and it was when his mum Charlotte was pregnant with Jacob that cerebral palsy was diagnosed. At the time, Ben was 2.5. His physical development had always been slow, as he'd been born 10 weeks early.
When we could see that he was trying to stand and not standing in sort of the normal way, trying to pull himself up, then you start to think that there's something different.
It was literally a off-the-cuff comment from a paediatrician in one of our annual appointments. She said something to me, and then she said, "Well, do you know he has cerebral palsy?" And it was, actually, no, I didn't know he had cerebral palsy, and of course then it was the absolute heartbreak that your child has a disability.
The family had to accept that Ben's condition would not improve. Doctors here had told them that as he got older, he would have to use a wheelchair more. Simply put, life would become more difficult. But the story of Jack Lawrence was to change everything.
Well, now to the 7-year-old whose parents say he's nothing short of a miracle as he's walked for the very first time.
The youngster who has cerebral palsy has had his life transformed by surgery in the United States.
I saw Jack on Calander, who was very similar to Ben. This is an eye-opener. We really need to look into this and see if it is a possibility for him.
The operation Jack had is selective dorsal rhizotomy. It's not a cure for CP, but it did radically improve Jack's quality of life. And the fact that it's only available in America would not stop Damien and Charlotte giving their son the chance to have the same.
I want him to be independent. He's such an energetic boy. Just want him to have the best life possible. And if it means taking him to America, so be it.
But at £45,000, affording the operation was the stumbling block, or so the Smithsons thought. What they hadn't counted on was the people of Ilkley.
Everyone came together and said they'd do things. It just grew,
snowballed,
grew and
really,
grew.
just completely snowballed.
People's generosity has been unbelievable.
And Ben's school friends played their part too.
This year, when it was my party, instead of all my friends bringing presents, I said, please may you bring some money so that we can donate it to Ben.
Tell me how you're all feeling about Ben going away and having this operation.
Well, we're really happy for him because we think it's going to be good for him.
Yeah. If I could take you guys to America with me, I would.
But Ben has to say goodbye.
See you after Christmas!
Because the new year marks a new beginning.
All the way to America.
What difference do you hope the operation will make?
Just that I can be normal.
Just ahead of the family leaving, a chance to say thank you to the people who made it all possible.
To each and every one of you, we just say a huge, huge thank you, and please enjoy the night and celebrate with us. What an amazing 7 months it has been. It'll be emotional, I know it will. I mean, this whole ride has been emotional, but we know it's the right thing to do for Ben.
The biggest adventure of my life.
Coming up tomorrow, as the big day arrives, reality sinks in.
I'm going to look after you. Yeah.
But next tonight, to the continuing journey of Ben Smithson, the little boy who wants an operation that could help him walk, but it's only available in America. Now, Ben, who's 9, has spastic diplegia, a form of cerebral palsy.
Last night we told you how a massive fundraising effort by his parents, Charlotte and Damien, put him on the road to the United States. Well, Tina Gelder travelled with them.
£45,000 to find.
To each and every one of you, we just say a huge, huge thank you.
7 months of hard work. Thanks to the generosity of the people of Ilkley, Ben Smithson is on his way to America.
See you after Christmas!
7:16, you were about 7 minutes away from winning your way into the Blues Red Wings. Kenny Loggins on the arch.
It's a long way from Yorkshire, but the Smithsons waste no time in making themselves at home in St Louis.
They both had the first ice skating
Experience.
Excited about sampling the American food.
It's been fantastic, really, because I think with all the fundraising and everything that's gone on prior to getting here, it's been very itty-bitty, and now it's completely family time, and it's been lovely, really, to spend it together before, you know, Ben's up tomorrow.
Hi, this is our apartment in America. In here, there is the washing machine and some wardrobe. And the best room in the house, of course. Yeah. Our bedroom.
But this is no holiday apartment. This is where the family will live for the next 5 weeks. And across the road is the reason why. The hospital where Ben's life could change forever. And this is it. This is the place that has brought Ben and his family 4,000 miles. St Louis Children's Hospital is renowned around the world for its treatment of youngsters with cerebral palsy. Here, surgeons have perfected a technique known as SDR, selective dorsal rhizotomy. And it's an operation that could see Ben fulfil his wish to walk. It's the day before the operation.
We need to do that half kneeling with your left leg up for 10 seconds, and then we're going to get rid of the bench.
First stop, an appointment with the physio and various tests to determine what Ben can and can't do.
With every patient that comes to have surgery, they go through what's called a pre-op evaluation. It just measures things that kids perform on a daily basis: standing, walking, kicking a ball, transitions on and off of furniture, on and off the floor, that kind of thing. To the left, roll to your left arm, just like you were doing. Now push up. Now I'm in your way. I think his mobility's pretty good, and I think he's going to make a lot of progress and have a lot of benefit from the surgery.
That surgery, SDR, involves cutting some of the sensory nerves in the spine to reduce muscle stiffness in the legs. More than 2,000 children have seen their lives improve at the hands of this man, neurosurgeon Dr. T.S. Park.
The camera makes a lot of noise, okay?
Ahead of Ben's operation, his prognosis couldn't be better.
See it? You see your spine up there? Yeah.
That's good.
The overall quality of life will be improved. I don't think he will need a walker. He will be able to walk independently in all environments. But he may need kind of aid for very long distance walking.
For Charlotte and Damien, this is more than they'd hoped for.
Loss for words, I think, is you know, we hoped it would give him some independence, but that is just absolutely amazing, just above our expectations, really.
Thoughts of tomorrow's operation are put to one side. A card game with Mum, Dad and brother Jacob is all Ben wants to think about.
Ben doesn't want to talk about it, does he?
No.
And discuss it. So that's fine if he doesn't want to do that. Uno. So just try and keep things as normal as possible. And then see how he is.
Come morning
in the
time.
morning.
So I have Benjamin Smithson, date of birth is 7/18/2001.
Are you doing okay? Yeah. So my name's Jenny. I'm one of the nurse practitioners with the anesthesiologist. Are you nervous about anything today, Ben?
Only the pain.
Only the pain, okay.
Understandably, Ben is scared. From Jenny comes some reassurance.
So you're probably going to have one of these, or maybe even two of these in one of your hands, okay? There is no needle left in there, I promise.
It's 2 hours to go to the operation.
You all right, sweetheart? Yeah? Yeah? Good. To say that we're here now, waiting to go into surgery, is still a bit bizarre, really. Until I actually see him go off, I don't think I'll really believe it.
How are you at the moment?
Up and down. Up and down. But he's doing really well, so he's keeping us going, aren't you?
With minutes to go, Ben is sedated.
It's okay. We'll all be fine, I promise you. You okay? You okay, sweetheart? Want Daddy to give you a kiss? Hey? Dan, have you gone to sleep? Yeah. I love you.
We'll take care of your brother. It won't be long, buddy.
He's okay.
On Calander tomorrow, the longest day for the Smithsons.
He's in the best hands, so we know he's safe.
I'm here, I'm here.
Well, now to the third of our special reports following 9-year-old Ben Smithson and his family to America for an operation that could transform his life.
Now, we must tell you that tonight we're going to be in the operating theatre and showing you part of the surgery that Ben went through to hopefully help him walk unaided for the first time.
Well, Ben, who's from Ilkley, has spastic diplegia, a form of cerebral palsy. Tina Gelder travelled with him and his family to St Louis for the operation that costs thousands and isn't performed in this country.
When we left Ben last night, he'd just been taken to theatre.
It's been a long, hard road to get here. There's nothing more Ben's parents, Charlotte and Damien, can do.
We'll take care of your brother. It won't be long, buddy.
Their son's future now lies in the hands of the surgeon who could change his life forever.
This is Benjamin Smithson, date of birth of 7/18/2001. We're doing a selective dorsal rhizotomy, bilateral L1 to S2 with Dr. Park, correct? Correct. We have Bassie on the field.
Thank you, that's good.
Neurosurgeon Dr. T.S. Park has spent 25 years refining this procedure, selective dorsal rhizotomy.
We make a small incision, less than a couple of inches in the back. We remove the small portion of the bone from the vertebrae, and we expose the spinal cord and the nerves that come up the spinal cord. And we separate the sensory nerves, and we test them, determine the responses in the muscle, No response. Is that correct?
That's correct, no response.
That's the basic outline of the surgery.
You're getting burst there, yes.
The muscles in Ben's legs should relax, reducing the stiffness, and his walking should improve. But this is a delicate procedure. One mistake could leave Ben paralysed.
Because we have to operate right over the spinal cord, there are risks of paralysis, losing sensation, losing bladder and bowel control.
For Charlotte and Damien, this is the longest of days.
I think they once said to us, when we'll know how Ben will be later in life when he's 7, and when he got to 7 it was like, okay, so this is how he's going to be. Is this really the best quality of life he's going to have? He will always have cerebral palsy. It's not taking that cerebral palsy away, but just give him that little bit more independence. He is wanting this. He's wanting to be able to walk.
It's been hard, but he's in the best hands, so we know he's safe and he'll be fine.
4 hours later, the news they've been waiting for. Ben is out of theatre.
Go straight through here, and the door
That
right to the
other.
left here. The
Lovely.
doorway to the left, and just keep walking straight back.
Okay, cheers. Thank you. Go straight ahead there. Is he in there?
He's doing good. He woke up for me.
Oh, brilliant. Hi, sweetie.
Hey, Benjamin.
Ben, you awake?
Ben.
Benjamin, Mom and Daddy are here.
You gonna say hi? Hey, sweetheart. So proud of you. Hey, sweetheart. Can you hear me?
As Ben is moved to intensive care for the night, he starts to come round.
Hey, we're here, sweetheart.
Okay, you want to see him?
I'm here. Hi, gorgeous. What's wrong, sweetheart?
You did good.
You're going up to where you're going to be, and we'll come and find you in a minute, okay? These lovely ladies will look after you, and we'll see you soon. Look, Jakey's here. Say hello to Sneaky. Okay. Oh, look, he wants to say hi.
Hold your hand. You can hold his hand.
You hold his hand, it's okay. You don't want to do that. He's touching your fingers, yeah? We'll see you soon. Glad you saw him. He looked okay. Yeah. You wanted to hold your hand? That's unusual. Oh. Yeah, being nice to you. Relieved that we've seen him. And just want to be back with him now. Just to stay with him. But relieved. He's okay. He's on the mend. That's all we can ask for.
How was last night?
It was tough. It was up and down. It took a while to settle him and he was quite uncomfortable most of the night. They've given him all these drugs to try and relax him and just keep him still so his back can heal before they start moving him. But he is rolling from side to side now and he's asking for a bit of juice and something to eat, so we're getting there.
So no regrets?
Not one. Not one. It's going to be hard, but we're going to give it our all and get him on those legs.
Coming up tomorrow, the family is pushed to the limit. The road to recovery will be harder than any of them could have imagined.
It's hard making a decision like this to, you know, hopefully give your child a better future, but the here and now is that he's in pain, he's in absolute agony, and you've made that decision.
Now, if you've been with us all this week, you'll know that we've been on an emotional roller coaster of a journey to America with 9-year-old Ben Smithson and his family from Ilkley.
Yes, Ben has cerebral palsy and his dream is to walk unaided. He's had the surgery and now it's time for the recovery, and that means physiotherapy, which can be distressing, and we will be showing you some scenes tonight that you might find upsetting.
In a moment, we're going to be meeting Ben here in the studio, but first, here's the final report from America from Tina Gelder.
It started with a wish.
What difference do you hope the operation will make?
Just that I can be normal.
It led to a mammoth fundraising effort.
To each and every one of you, we just say a huge, huge thank you.
It took a 9-year-old boy and his family 4,000 miles to America and a life-changing operation.
He's such a fighter. He is wanting this. He is wanting to be able to walk.
It's been a remarkable journey, but for Ben Smithson, the toughest step is yet to come.
I think the painkillers are kicking in, so he's getting a bit sleepy.
It's 3 days after the operation.
Good to see you looking so much better.
Yeah, our cheeky Ben's back.
A video call from Grandma Linda with messages from home cheers Ben up.
Francis wanted to know how you were.
But the smiles don't last.
Just take a few deep breaths. Come on, mate, we can do this.
It's Ben's first physiotherapy session.
What do I need to do now then?
So you're going to put this hand underneath his shoulder.
Do you want me to help? Oh, one of your main therapies is walking, walking, walking. You can't walk when you're lying in bed, can you? When he was lying in bed, actually saying those words to me, "Mummy, why did you make me do this? Why did you make me have this operation?" You do think, why have we done this? It's the here and now. He's lying there in absolute agony and we've made this decision for him to have this operation. We're going to have bad days. A lot of the time his aggression is pointed towards me, but I suppose that's understandable, you know. You always have a go at the ones you love.
It doesn't hurt as much as it did this morning, does it?
Don't touch me. Ow, you like
Alright,
Sorry. Where do you want me to hold? You've got to think long term. He's getting better, he's on the mend, and he has bounced back really quickly, and, you know, it's onwards and upwards.
And what a difference a day makes. Over the next 4 weeks, Ben starts to learn how to walk again.
You're in America now.
Look down.
There is still a long way to go for Ben, who now faces many months of gruelling and painful physio. Now, SDR is not a miracle cure for cerebral palsy. It isn't an instant fix. But what it is a new start for Ben. But the question still remains, why do families like the Smithsons have to raise tens of thousands of pounds and travel halfway around the world for this procedure? Why isn't it available at home? Historically in Britain, the operation led to spinal deformities in some children and was considered high risk. But the technique surgeons in America have refined was recently accepted as being safe by NICE, the body that decides which treatments should be available on the NHS. At the Leeds General Infirmary, I met paediatric neurosurgeon John Gooden. He recently spent 2 weeks with Dr. Park and his team in St Louis, and he wants Yorkshire to become a centre of excellence for SDR.
I passionately believe that we should be providing the care for these children that they need in this country on the NHS. If done right, in the right group of patients, can have an impact on them for the rest of their life. It's very clear that dorsal rhizotomy has a role.
No one knows that more than the Smithson family. 5 weeks after his operation, Ben is back home.
Previously, when he walked on his toes. Now he's actually walking flat-footed with both feet, and with his right foot he's starting to walk heel to toe, which he's never ever done before.
With every passing day, Ben Smithson's wish moves a little bit closer. But this is not a road that he will walk alone. His family, as they have been throughout, will be with him every step of the way.
Just reaffirms the fact that we do work as a family unit, because it was such a huge thing, and to have the boys together for, you know, have Jacob there for Ben,
because he definitely needed that.
It was quite bonding, really, wasn't it?
Ultimately, Ben's future is down to him. But this is one determined little boy who has never let anything stand in his way.
He puts a lot of adults to shame with the amount of determination and will and strength within that he's shown over the last couple of weeks. Takes my breath away, he's amazing. Just is amazing.
It all takes your breath away, doesn't it? And we are delighted that the whole Smithson clan are with us in the studio tonight. Mum has been crying for most of that film, but getting the consoling from Ben. Thank you all for coming in, and thank you for letting us be with you through all of that. We've just seen a small fraction of what it's been like for you. But first of all, how are you feeling?
Fine.
Fine. Good. Yeah. Excellent. I'm loving those trainers that you brought back from America. Yeah. They are fantastic, your new big ones. What are you going through at the moment? Is it making a real difference at the moment? Are you finding there are changes going on?
Yeah, a little bit. It was quite hard at first, but I got used to it eventually.
You've been doing so well, Ben, that the doctors have told you some very good news. What is that? How long will it be before you walk on your own?
6 to 12 months.
6 to 12 months?
That is... I mean, that's phenomenal, isn't it?
Completely. Just unbelievable. I mean, the here and now and seeing how he is, and he is progressing every day.
As we saw in Tina's report just there, the neurosurgeon in Leeds thinks SDR should be available in this country. What exactly are your thoughts on that? Just explain how you think the benefits outweigh the cost.
You know, the long-term benefits and savings to the NHS would be massive.
Because obviously if Ben didn't have the operation, it would obviously cost a lot.
Well, he's got a wheelchair, he's got a walker, that he wears his splints, all the doctor's appointments that he needs. And aside from that, the school adaptions and the home adaptions that the government help pay for, all of that would be vastly reduced. So a big amount at first, but over the years, a saving to everyone.
Well, also a star of our films has been young Jake as well. You've been there all the way. What's it been like for you being there, helping and supporting your brother? Has it been good?
Yeah, and sometimes it's been a bit boring in the hospital.
Bit boring, yeah, I can understand that. Bit boring in the hospital kind of things. But, I mean, now it's hard work,
Oh, it is,
isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we've done, you know, the fundraising, the operation, and now it's home, and the reality of daily physio, trying to keep him motivated, and just, as Dr. Park says, walking.
I've got to ask you, why did you allow us and the Calander viewers to share in Ben's very personal and at times upsetting journey?
We found out about
on TV.
We found out about the procedure through Calander, and seeing another family, and we, through the process, we found that there's so many families that are just getting to know about it. So we thought if we could do something that would let at least one other family find out about it, then that'd be worthwhile.
Thank you so much once again for letting us come with you. I know Tina went with you. You should also mention Charlie Garforth, who came with you as well.
Oh, definitely. Can we just say a huge thank you to Tina and Charlie? They were just an amazing support out there. And, you know, half of it we couldn't have done without them. They were just amazing. Yes, thank you.
We wish you all the best. We'll keep tabs on you to see how you do. And